Or anything after that we posted, it was going crazy. But that particular video made shade room, so we didn't.
Anybody that comes on my show, we're going to have a good conversation. It's okay to agree to disagree, just as long as we're respectful.
Look in the camera.
Everyone is a product of their own experience. There will be times that you have to experience the pain in order to experience the joy. So let's talk about the experience and let's share the results. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, your brother, your nephew, whatever you want to call me, Anthony, and I am back for another life transitions interview. Okay, I see y'all coming in, and I see everyone in the comments. So, before I get everything started, let me go ahead and put up this disclaimer. Everything on this channel is alleged. It's for entertainment purposes only, and everything is for my opinion. If you have not followed me on social media, make sure you go ahead and follow @SanthonyLofties. Also, make sure you purchase my album, Sincerely My Fault. It's available on all digital platforms. Make sure you follow these amazing content creators, Diana Rose, Scotty by Nature TV, Who Knew What's Happening, Hey Girl, Hey Chit Chat with QT, True T, Brown, Sugar Bay, Everyday Husband Quotes, House of Aaron, The Silver, Queen Sheba, DJ Richard Sky, Sherry G, Caramel Rail, Sassy T from 803, Healing with Shaw, Anonymous T Show, Style and Spirit, Ashley Miller, Kempire, and my girl, Bundy Blue. If you would like for me to promote your business, make sure you go ahead and email our triobusiness@gmail.com. or call or text 615-987-9472. All right, y'all. Friday, I'm supposed to be doing a review on Bell Collector Season 3, Episode 2. Now, it's a possibility I may not be able to do it because you all know I have to be in the recording studio pretty much all day. And if I don't have a voice, I will not be going live that day. But I will definitely be back for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 8 at 9:30 Central Time like I always do. Now, I know everyone has been talking about Anthony's exclusive tea. If you have not become a member, make sure you go ahead and do that. www.youtube.com/SanthonyLofties/join. And I will talk a little about that later on in this video. Child, y'all have been blowing me up about this this information that's gonna come out. Anyway, y'all, let me say hey to a few people, and thank you to everyone that became a member. You all, we have almost 500 people that became a member just for that information on Monday. And I'm gonna let y'all know it's more information coming out with other people. So that's only one video that's going to be talked about on Monday, but we'll get into that a little bit later, okay? Hey, LaTanya, thank you for becoming a member, love. So let me say hello to a few people. Miss Evan Singleton, how are you, baby? The aesthetic hair, Marita, hey love, how are you? Miss Linda, Veronica, Christine, Jay, how are you? Sheila, Cutie Pie D, Red, Cecilia, Melissa, is it TL Goldie, Melita, Essence Tender, I see y'all up in here. Bree, how are you? Elisa, Gwen, Patricia, Kaylin, what's up, girl? How you doing? Beverly, Alice, Jonah, Valerie, CJ, I see all of y'all coming in right now. We got 165 people. Make sure y'all keep it going. And you know how I do later on. I'll bring some people up and let y'all ask some good questions. All right, so let me go ahead and bring our special guest in. A lot of you all know him from Love and Marriage. I'm not Love and Marriage. I mean from Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, I've been talking about Love and Marriage so much these past few days. I almost said Love. You know what I meant. I almost said Love and Marriage Huntsville, but Love and Hip Hop Miami. And also he's currently on Bad Boys Texas. This man has been doing everything from Fashion Nova Me. I mean, he's doing everything right now. Real cool, down to earth. Now, keep in mind, y'all, he has not done an interview for since it's been 2 years since he's done an interview. And I'm actually grateful that he decided to come on my platform. So y'all help me welcome the one and only Prince. What up, Prince? Unmute you. Hold on, my bad. I need to unmute you. What up, Prince?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I can't complain. Life is great right now.
In the words of Mimi Faust, life is lifing. And it's definitely lifing with you on that show right now. What's up, y'all? We got Prince up in the building right now. We got 175 people watching. So as y'all come in, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment and share this video. So before we get into this, Prince, let me go ahead and put up his social media. So y'all make sure y'all follow Prince on his social media. And I actually got it right here. So be sure to follow him on his social media. And you see he's an ambassador for Nova Men, Fashion Nova, and he's currently on Bad Boys Texas, the Zeus Network. CEO Lemmy Plummer. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as we get into this interview. Man, so 2 years since you've done the interview.
Yeah, man.
Why has it been so long?
Well, a couple reasons. Honestly, one, me and myself, I have been depressed. I have been going through like crazy depression. Like, life was just like hitting nigga left, right, and center. And outside of that, I feel like the requests that I were getting weren't necessarily, not to say that anyone's platform is necessarily bigger or better than anyone else's, but they weren't people that I felt it would have been a safe space for me to go and speak. You know what I'm saying? It like the people that were reaching out had a reputation for a certain kind of style of interviewing, and I just put myself in that position to become defensive, and now people are thinking because I'm defensive, it's, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of just avoided that for a while. And then once I finally, started to get into a better place, I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. Bad Boys came out. I was like, all right, well, the first person that interviews me, I don't give a fuck if it's the nigga across the street that he's interviewing by a dump truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do it. You weren't the first, because I do have somebody vetting them. And the first person that came through, she was like, nah, we're not gonna do that. But I was just like, I'm excited. Let's do it. Let's talk. I'm sure there's a lot people want to know. And I'm here. I feel like, that was really just the reason. I've really just been depressed and life's good.
So how have you been dealing with the depression? Like, did you go speak with a counselor? Because, you don't really find that many people on television that's bold enough to say, hey, I suffer from depression. I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to control it. So what did you go through to get help with it?
To be quite honest, I dealt with it myself, and that probably wasn't like the best way to do it. They say you can't heal what hurts you if you don't, get away from it. And I feel like I am in an environment, even still to this day, where there is a lot of hurt and a lot of things that have happened and transpired to me in my career as a promoter, in my career loving hip hop and thereafter. But I refuse to leave my city. Like, I'm not gonna get out of my city because I'm fucking sad. And honestly, I just sat in it and I just dealt with it, because I knew I had been through what I had already been through before. Not necessarily like, the crazy shit that you guys have seen, but there was a time period in my life where I felt like everything was great. I was making, good money. I had my car, I had my girlfriend. And I feel like I took all that for granted, and God took it all away from me. And not to get too deep, I felt like the last 2 years of my life when I was going through this depression, I think that it was God trying to teach me another lesson of humility and kind of like humbling myself, because I got on loving hip. I was a Fresh Prince of South Beach, got on loving hip hop, was doing my thing, and I feel like my britches just got a little bit too big for me. I grew a huge ego. I started treating people less than. I started watering other flowers instead of my garden and the people that cared about me, and building relationships based upon like superficial shit. So I feel like I got to a certain point of this bubble, it burst, and me going through that depression, me going through, I'm sure the other things that we're going to talk about, was all just a test. And they say that, God gives his hardest battles to his toughest soldiers. And, I came through. So I honestly just stuck through it, and I just dealt with it, because I knew everything that I was going through, there's accountability for me to take in it, but I knew that it wasn't the end all be all. I knew it wasn't true. I knew that I was a good person. I knew that I was moving right, but I had just done some things that probably caught up to me. And I just had to like stick through it, stay a good person, and just like stay on my path. And, thank God, like the opportunity that opportunities that did arise because it pulled me out of the depression.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't speak to anyone. I didn't see a therapist, which I probably should have. I smoked a lot of weed. I sat in my thoughts a lot. I beat myself up a lot because whilst people may have this perception that I'm like super into myself and I think I'm the shit, like I am so hard on myself. Like I'm like a Nigerian parent to myself, you know what I'm saying? And I was just in that room just beating the shit out of myself every day, just like making it worse. And then, you know, I started to see a tunnel and there was a light at the end and I just kept crawling towards it. And then, you know, now thankfully things are good. And I'm just like, I show a lot of like gratitude and appreciation. Like that's like my thing now, just being grateful and appreciative of everything that comes my way, big, little, small, like, you know.
Okay. So let's talk about before you got on Love and Hip Hop. Felicia Monet, right? She was the one that was basically helping with casting. Like, how was it brought to you to be a part of that show?
I was laying in my bed, bro. I was laying in my bed and I got a DM and it was from Felicia Monet. And she was just like, hey, we're conducting interviews for this show and your name keeps coming up. And like, she's like, would you be interested in interviewing? I'm like, fuck yeah, nigga. Because at this point, like in my promoter career, I was just like, man, I need to be in a reality TV show. I mean, I thought I would have like MTV Real World, The Challenge or some shit like that, but whatever. So she met up with me. I told her about my life story, what I did, how I do what I do. And this is like when I really was like the Fresh Prince of South Beach. Like I was showing up to the club with like 100 girls. Like I was the master. Like I was really in the trenches. And so they thought it a very interesting dynamic that I did that and I was so great and everyone knew me, but I had this girlfriend that I was in like a super committed relationship with. Going on like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years at that point. And the interviews. So basically met Mona. They loved me. We did a pilot. We shot a pilot and it got greenlit. And then next thing you know, like I'm on people's TV screen. So that was really what it was. I was literally laying in bed and I just got a DM. And
do you feel that, let me just say this, because I got friends that work on Love and Hip Hop, all right? And I was told they was like the show isn't portraying Prince the way he really is. They said Prince is goofy, he's funny, he's always doing something crazy to make everybody laugh. They was like, it's not really showing who he is. Why do you feel they didn't show that part of you?
One, I want to say that is so vindicating to hear. Like I could literally like cry right now. Two, I think what happened was everybody that got casted for season 1 and 2 had a role that they were supposed to play. My role was supposed to be, I was supposed to be the heartthrob of the show. I was supposed to be the one that all the ladies fawned over, you know, all the, you know, everyone part of the, you know, the community fawned over. I was supposed to be the heartthrob of the show. Once the show aired and everyone was just like, this nigga's gay, they started just kind of turning that camera like it's like a bunch of mirrors, right? And like if you shine a light on one, it's going to reflect one way. And they started putting things in a way to make it look another kind of way, because everything that happened. I was Bobby's best friend, but I wasn't this egotistical, superficial kid, scrawny kid on TV that thought he was a shit, and that's how they portrayed me. They would see, what I love about Zeus is that I can just say what the fuck I want and just do all the wild shit that I want. Love and Hip Hop, they literally had me in front of the green screen and they'll be like, all right, so say this, man. Be like, yeah, I'm the Fresh Prince of Beach, I run the clubs, da 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 da. And so obviously this is my first time on TV. They just plucked me off the street. I'm going to listen to them because I want to stay. So I would say like, yo, this doesn't feel natural. This isn't me. They're like, come on, you know, just put the little energy in it. So that's why you see me doing all that cringy, corny shit, because that was them telling me to say that in my, like, my green screens. But that is not who I am. And it's like dope that people now watching Zeus are like, this nigga Prince is actually funny as fuck. Like, I wish they would have shown the real me. If they would have shown the real me, I probably would have been on a fucking relationship advice show because of all the real shit that I had going on. Like,
so let me ask you this: with you saying that right there, because I remember your father was on one of the episodes. Has your father ever talked to you about the show or talked about your friendship with Bobby during that time? Was he ever like, look, I need you to end this friendship, or just because of how people was portraying you to be?
My father never, because my father knows me. My dad, respectfully, my dad knows I get money. Like I am the apple ain't fall far from the tree. So it hurt him, but he knew in his heart, he was like, he knows his son, he never once encouraged me or discouraged my friendship with Bobby. He did sit down and have a conversation with me and was just like, son, do you think, this friendship with Bobby is the reason that, everyone is saying all this? And I was just like, to be quite honest with you, Dad, nah, niggas was saying like little slick things like this before I got on TV, before I was best friends with Bobby. It's just like now it's just hate. Now I'm popping. So niggas have to talk about me. And as far as like the other people, the people that don't know me, people's perception is their reality. Everyone has an opinion. I've spoken on other celebrities and then met them personally, and that opinion changed. Before I was someone when I used to be a normal person. So people, based off of just what they see, what they hear, what they read, are gonna base their own opinion. I can't be mad at them for that. I'm never mad at someone's opinion. I just get upset when people try to tell me who I am. There's a difference between you thinking one thing and then telling me who I am. But back to my father, he never once discouraged my friendship. He just tried to like uplift me because he knew that it got to a point where they were winning. Because at first, when these little gay this, gay that, I was like, yeah, gay, bet, pink fur coat, pink this, permed hair, all of that. And I was like, I'm gonna show you niggas gay. And then it was even. I thought they were just gonna be like, oh, all right, damn, he got us. I thought I'll, play that mind game with him, and not. The wave got even bigger and just swallowed me. And then, I changed who I was. Like I stopped wearing the bright, vivacious colors. I stopped, what I'm saying? I stopped kind of like doing some of the outlandish, gregarious things I did just because like they bullied me.
Now, I've heard so much about your parties, all right? So I'm tell you right now, after this interview, I got to come to one of your parties because I heard that was lit. I'm saying it right now in front of everybody. I'm going to one of his parties.
I'm here.
Even my friend that worked on the show, he said his party's lit. Look, you attractive. I don't want you. I just want to come to the party. Just saying it.
I got you.
But let me ask you this: how does it feel to go from being one of the biggest promoters in Miami to actually being booked to actually go host now? It's like two different things. You're used to throwing parties, but now you actually have to go because they're booking you to make a premiere or just show up and be in a certain VIP area.
You know what it is for me? The first time it happened, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I remember my first.
Prince, if you don't watch the profanity,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You had to edit that. I was like, "What is this?" Like, my first booking ever was DC, and they gave me $3,500 for just me. So, like at that point in my promoter career, because I still wasn't getting percentages of the entire party yet, I was getting like a $300 flat rate, like to come and bring like girls to the club. Like I got commission. I made a lot of money off of bringing clients, but that was it. So when they told me that, it kind of like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It kind of, I almost cursed. It messed things up for me because I'm like, hold up, these people are flying me here and paying me this for me, and y'all want me to come to the club every single night for this? But it got to a point where I kind of realized it was just two different skins, honestly. Because Miami is a bubble. Reality TV stars are nobody here. It don't matter who you think you are. Like they do not care out here because real people come here and spend money. Like Ronaldo in the club dropping 20K. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about Prince Love and hip hop or any other show for that matter.
Right.
But it's dope. I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I just differentiate the two because it's completely different worlds. Miami is its own world. And when you go to like DC or you go to Charlotte or you go to North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? You just adjust and acclimate to the situation.
We was talking backstage about how my management like how a lot of stuff work. And I remember like I said, my family, I have a background, I have a musical family pretty much. A lot of gospel songs that people sing in church don't even realize that my family was the one that wrote those gospel songs that a whole lot of churches have been singing. But anyway, I remember like right now, let me just say you have a lot of people that get in the industry as far as like reality TV. And all of a sudden they start getting these managers, these agents, and all this stuff, and don't realize majority of the stuff you can do yourself. Because you may get a $3,500 booking. Okay, go ahead and deduct the management's fee, the booking agent's fee. I mean, right now I only have that manager.
For me, it worked out great because I'm a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need anyone to speak on my behalf and negotiate for me. I can pretend to be someone else, and I know what to do for me. Now I'm a horrible negotiator, but as far as like representing myself or speaking or just dialogue verbiage, I'm great at. So I had an advantage over that. I didn't necessarily have to pay anyone to do that. I did pay for a publicist for a while. I do believe a publicist is needed, a good PR, not someone who is a mortgage lender by day and PR by night. No, like this is what they do. That is needed. And once you get to a certain level, then you need a manager. But I don't think anyone that's like, I don't want to say reality star level because there's levels to the reality stars too. You know, there's stars, B, C. You know what I'm saying? If you're an A reality star, then yeah, maybe B, you might need a manager at that point because you are touching a different kind of money. Like I wouldn't say Trina because Trina was an artist prior to, but you know, someone of that status. But anyone lower that you don't need it yet because respectfully, people aren't checking for us like that. They watch us for entertainment, but it's not that we necessarily bring intrinsic value in some way, shape, or form, whether it be musically or through a product or serve. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about something. It's time to get into it.
I know. Now, read them book.
You said something a while back, and for the reason why you are no longer on Love and Hip Hop. And what was brought up was basically someone said, "Woo child, back in the day, nobody could tell me Prince has spoken was not a beautiful man. But look how the mighty have fallen. That check better be worth it." And you responded, said, "I'm trying to figure out how I failed because I wasn't on Love and Hip Hop. I got sexually harassed and got taken off. Y'all, the fans, bullied me into depression, but my life kept going when the cameras were off. I was still the Fresh Prince of South Beach." Then you came back and said, "I've spoken about this so many times, but y'all, the fans, the media, don't give a F." Yeah, a pass was made at me and I snapped. Next thing you know, I'm not on Love and Hip Hop and had the little storyline pretty much. Now, I remember Terry Crews, the actor. He basically came out and he told everyone that Adam Vinny, a huge person in the industry that was a huge producer that had connections to a lot of people. He basically came out and said that he groped him. Do you feel that you was kind of blackballed from that situation dealing with Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah, 100%. Now, disclaimer before I get into this, this person and I have spoken. This person does try to, at this point, present opportunities for me that still even involve Love and Hip Hop, but I'll explain how we got to that point in a second. No one ever touched me because I will whoop someone's ass. You know what I'm saying? I would never be put into that position. I don't feel like anyone's ever been that comfortable to ever try it like that. I'm trying to think about how to gracefully say this, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want him to feel some type of way. But basically, when you're the EP of a show, well, of that show, you get close to your cast. You find out about their lives, you learn about them because you have to go back to your story runner, your producers, and try to weave this story, the drama, et cetera. So when Maudie Carmen was our EP the first season, she kind of set the tone. She was like invested in all of our lives. We could call her whatever hour, complain about Liz. She was asking me things. She was very personal. She was like a mother. Like she was in there. So when the next executive producer came along and it was kind of like the same thing, it didn't even strike me as odd, you know? Now, after a while, there was certain things that were starting to be said that was just kind of like, all right, nigga, this is a little bit weird. This is not how EPs talk. Like, I remember there was one point statement that like is like burned into my memory, where he said something like, I was talking about Alvin and how Alvin keeps leaving heart eyes on my pictures and it's pissing me off. He said some shit like, oh, you want me to beat him up for you or something like that. And that was the first red flag. I was like, okay, that was a little bit odd. Ignored it. There had been a couple other comments made where I ignored. I didn't even, because again, this is my EP. You know, so I still, I kind of want to still, I don't want to burn bridges, you know what I'm saying? And I've dealt with plenty of gay men my entire life. I know how they act. It's like me being friends with a baddie. I might still jab step, see if she's wavering. No, okay, my bad. Then it got to a point where there was one day I posted like a thirst trap picture, and obviously my Twitter is crazy. It was you know what I'm saying, it was printing. The comment that was made to me was so inappropriate that I went the fuck off on this nigga. Like went the fuck off. Profusely apologized. You know what I'm saying? It was like never, that'll never happen again. Da 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 da. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm thinking everything's cool. After that conversation, normally like, okay, we're talking about filming. What's going on with you this week? We're gonna get this. What's going on with you this week? What's going on with your mom? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Like, kept speaking to me as if like I'm still gonna film. Weeks turned into months, turned into January 1st is coming, and I haven't filmed a single episode. Now, before anyone's just like, okay, well, you're in your contract, they can cut you at any time. Let's talk about my storyline. Season 2 ended with me and Liz together. Me and Bobby still friends. I signed to Kent Jones' label. In the time between season 2 ended and season 3 supposed to begin in, me and Liz broke up. Me and Bobby were no longer best friends. Tory Lanez jumped me. Kent Jones signed me to a fake record label. There was some shit with Amada. I was beefing with JoJo. Me and Chaotic were supposed to fight. I had something going on with every single cast member besides Trick and Trina and Gunplay. So there's no question as far as if I had a strong storyline, I would have had the strongest storyline because the Tory Lanez situation alone and Lamar and what transpired after that was big itself because now it brings in a huge person into the mix of Love and Hip Hop. They can record me going to court and all this shit. So my storyline was strong, and the relationship, the non-existent relationship with my mother. So I had all the facets and all the pieces to have like my breakout season. Season 3 breakout season. January 1st comes and I haven't filmed a single episode. Mind you, I have all this going on. Like all this going on. And again, there's other little things that was going on I don't remember with the other cast members, but this was like the strongest points. Now, all of a sudden, after I snap, I'm not filming. Shit gets kind of weird. First episode airs. I'm still not filming. Now, at this point, I'm like, oh, hell no. Something's going on. So I had spoke to my lawyer in confidence first. I'm like, listen, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I think this is what happened. I sent her screen recordings of, I had already took a screenshot of what he had said to me, sent that to her, sent screenshots of our conversations, things that were being said to me. Somehow, I was ranting, like I was talking about it a lot. Somehow it got back to Mona's ear. Mona FaceTimes me. And she's like, hey, listen, I've been hearing this. And I told her what the fuck was up. She was like, listen, I'm going to bring you to New York. We're going to talk about this. I want to talk about it over the phone anymore. Right at that like moment, he like clicked over, called me back. She's like, Prince, I'm sorry. I can no longer speak with you. The lawyers are now involved. And then that was end of communication with Mona. So now, hold up. It's still not done. So now we're going through the whole thing with the lawyers. Love and Hip Hop scared. VH1 is scared because the messages look bad. Like it was enough to. There was questions they just did not want to ask. So they came to me, the Love and Hip Hop, the VH1 lawyer or the whatever the fuck he is. I still have the email. He ended up calling me with my lawyer, and he was like, listen. There's enough things that we just don't want to get into. So we just need this from you, Prince. If you can speak with the lawyers and say it was a misunderstanding, we're going to make sure that you have X, Y, and Z. You're going to be good for this. Now, mind you, my lawyer's on the phone. I'm thinking, all right, cool. Be situated. This will be all in writing. I'm not thinking about that because I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I did not want to be the face of Men Too. I did not. We had a hashtag ready, and that was it, like Men Too. We talked about, we were going to take this far. And I was like, nah. Now I can't handle it. I can barely handle Love and Hip Hop. people calling me gay. I'm not going to be able to handle this. So we agree with them. We said, listen, say that it was a misunderstanding, and like I said, we're gonna, X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. I got on the conversation with the lawyers from Viacom. It wasn't even VH1, it was Viacom. I told them, hey, it was a misunderstanding. Reluctantly, like if they have that recording, you'll hear. Like I'm like, something really didn't feel right, but I did it just because, again, I ain't really know better. Whatever. I went through it. Everything was cool. We kind of like go through like the litigations. Everything's happening. I leave it to my lawyer. I'm thinking all that's going to basically be taken care of, right? After that, if you do that, that was 2019. What happens 2020? COVID comes. There's no production. We're not shooting. Okay, cool. Things come back to normal. Season 3 is about to come back around. I get a call. I'm reaching out. No one's reaching me back. So I start taking it to social media, and it starts getting a little bit louder. Like this time the cry is, turns into like a little whelp. So like now people are hearing me. So I get an email from Love and Hip Hop, like, hey Prince, what's this has been going on, So I let them know the situation, spoke with the lawyers, They're like, okay, we have no recollection of this. We can't find any of it. So I told them who we spoke to, Turns out, once this whole COVID thing happened, different production team, different lawyers, and different it was production, different lawyers, and a different entertainment company. Big Fish took over. So no one had any idea what the fuck I was talking about. And then because a lot of what we spoke about wasn't in email, obviously, to not have like a paper trail like that, there was no way to be like, hey, remember this? And it happened so many years ago. I don't have the text messages. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the backup. I've scoured like iCloud storage just trying to see if I had the backups from back then. And I don't. So I became in my depression, I became really, really bitter, probably like halfway through it, a year in. And I was talking about it in all the blogs. Like I was literally saying his name. I was tweeting about him, and no one was picking it up. And that hurt me even more. I'm just like, I'm a heterosexual black male on a black-owned television show that got harassed by a homosexual black man, and don't nobody give a fuck. So then he started seeing it. People were sending it to him. I wanted just at him. He reached out to me, and we had a long conversation. And this was the end of our conversation. This is why I say we're in a place where it's just kind of cool. I have no proof to definitively say he 100% blocked me from filming, because there's a bunch of shit that he told me, and a bunch of that could have happened that it's plausible. Now, I feel something different 100%, but it's plausible. I have no definitive proof, no word of mouth, no one outside of Gail. Gail sent me a voice note that I wish I still had.
Hold on,
Gail King. I'm not Gail.
No, you're talking about Stephanie Gail.
Oh, Stephanie Gail, my bad.
Because I know it's Gail Stephanie, Rocky, is it Rocco and Treva? They all work for I know I don't
Gail
know
them. Well, let me go to Mona. She had basically sent me a voice note that basically confirmed this nigga blocked me from filming. No longer have that. Lawyer doesn't have it. That rinky dinky motherfucker. Anyways, where was I before I got to that part?
Prince, if my page gets shut down, I'm gonna send you an invoice.
I'm like, it just brings back like talking about it. So anyways, so him and I spoke, and again, I couldn't definitively prove that he said that, but what I did get from the conversation from him was he said, listen, I don't remember making some of those comments that I made towards you, but if I did, I am sorry for that. I apologize. And for me, just him somewhat acknowledging it was cool, because I'm not crazy. I know that you overstepped your boundaries. I know that you said some shit to me, and even though you don't want to 100% sit here and be like, I did that, I'm tripping, you trying to use my power or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want to say that, I can take that, but you and I both know. So I can't sit here and scream off the top of the rooftops that you did it, because I don't have the proof, but you know that you did that, and I'm cool with that.
So that caused you to really go into a depression after that right there.
That amongst everything, like it, I was just mad at the world. I was hurting. I'm just like, and then I would look at Bobby's page because me and Bobby weren't friends. I'm just like, I went on national television with this whole flaming flamboyant person, was his best friend, had him ridicule me on TV, had him help portray that narrative of me with some of his antics, and here he living life in movies, popping on the gram. Everyone loves him, and I'm just here like, I was mad at everyone. I hated everyone. I was just like, I was the most genuine person on that show. I was the only person on Love and Hip Hop who didn't use a moment to make someone else look crazy or stupid or foolish or whatever the case is. I opened my home to everyone. I opened my home to everyone on that show, bro.
Wow.
And it was like, it sucked. It sucked. It sucked. Like, I'm happier now. I'm not trying to cry, but it sucked. It was hard, dog. It was hard. Like,
I mean, man, it's okay to cry. I think that's what's wrong with people. They think when a guy start crying, it make them look like they're a coward. But I mean, you still going through your healing phase. It's okay not to be okay. And like I said, I'm a part of the LGBT plus community. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And I hate that you went through that with VH1, Mona Scott Young, and the production team. And yeah, that's hard. I mean, but hey, look where you at now.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely happy. Like I said, it just really sucked. It just sucked because I've never been that person, like, to be like a, you know, like a super bad guy. Like, my uncle's gay. My female cousin's gay. Like, I've always just like, I've just been taught to like treat people how they treat you, you know. So like, for me to be so nice to everyone and like just to be attacked for who I am because I don't know how to be anything else, like, that shit. I'm sorry, give me a second. That shit sucks.
Take your time. All right, y'all. We're gonna take a 1 minute commercial break and we'll be back. All right.
Can we go back to that place where we used to be? I wanna lay down, cuddle up and watch TV. I wanna feel like you're listening to me. Can we go back, go back? I remember when we would talk all night, laugh until we cried. I don't know what happened to us, like we're growing apart more and more. I just wanna know, tell me if I'm doing something wrong, baby. Cause I feel like I'm losing you, feel like I'm losing you. Can we go back to that place where we used to be? I wanna lay down, cuddle up and watch TV. You know you got that goosh. When those eyes getting heavy, you start seeing shh. Try to comprehend what's going on, cause you feel that shh. Your mind be so gone, but you loving it. I'ma send you to a place you never been before. Make your body do some things I never felt and more. It will have you feeling good, you can't even ignore the feeling.
What's up, everyone? So we are back. Y'all go ahead and put some hearts in the comments to show Prince some love right now. You have a lot of people saying right now, sending you hearts, that you will be okay, hugs.
Yeah, my bad for that. I wasn't even expecting
dude, you don't have to apologize for that. It's okay to not be okay. You never have to apologize for that. Everyone is sending hearts over.
Appreciate y'all.
Nothing but hearts coming in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all show Prince some more love. And also, everyone who's late coming in, let me go ahead and put his social media up and make sure you all follow him. And then we're going to change the topic a little bit. And as soon as I get rid of these comments, yeah, they're going in with these hearts. Thank y'all so much. So y'all make sure y'all follow Prince on Instagram at Prince Has Spoken. If you haven't followed him, go ahead and do it right now. Now, Prince, let's talk about your fashion. how did you get involved with Nova? Is it Nova Men?
Nova Men by Fashion Nova.
Yeah. So how did you become an ambassador for them?
The day that the cast was announced, they DM'd me. And mind you, I've been trying to get brand deals since Love and Hip Hop, and no one has ever. When I tell you, no one has ever, mind you, I don't think I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? I think I take good content, good pictures. I've never gotten a brand deal like where they paid me consistently. Everybody wants to give me free clothes. So DM me. We negotiated a price, and then they locked me in for like my first contract was 6 months, and like I've just been killing my content.
Okay, let me say this. Whoever helped you with your content, the videos, you have the best transition videos when it comes to wardrobe. It's ridiculous. I'm about to play a 1:30 video, and I had to change the music just because I didn't want to get the copyright. So I just added my song on there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video right quick.
You're everything I want and more, and that's for sure. Ooh, you're all mine, and I'm gonna let you know. I'm getting ready, oh baby, for you. Oh, I can't wait for you to get home to me. Get home to me. I'm gonna let you know how my love still grows. It grows more and more for you, more for you. I'm getting ready for you. I'm getting ready, baby. We can do the things you want to. I'm getting ready for you. We can do the things you want to. I'm getting ready for you.
Now, who is helping you put all of that stuff together?
So some of those you have a mix up. Some of those are actually me just doing them, and then the ones that involve like shots, like moving like that, have like my videographer. But some of it is just me. It's time consuming, the editing for me than it is for him. But
trust me, look at me. I edit. I put all of that stuff. People don't understand how much time it takes to edit a video. I remember it took me 4 hours just to do almost 30 seconds of a video just to make sure it's right. So crazy. All of my subscribers, when y'all see me putting these videos, these clips, trust me, when I say I appreciate your super chats, your super stickers, your cash apps, your Zelles, you all don't understand. I'm working 2 jobs, trying to make content, send emails to get people to come up here. I appreciate it.
And those edits are not, I can imagine for you, like the overlays, because I know it's like the lines and you gotta get all that.
And then don't let it be, if you need it a 9x16, 16x9. I'm like, come on. And then if you try to upload it and it say, hey, we only take PDF or PNG, and I'm like, now I got to find a converter to convert it over just to make it work.
Well, for the content that I make, obviously you do a show, but for content I make, captures is great help. But if you can't afford a videographer, it'll make your life seamless. Because all you gotta do, you just look funny when people are watching. You do little jumping up, and you're like, you know. But.
Gotcha. All right, Prince. So let's go ahead and talk about Bad Boys, Texas. Lemmy Plummer, if you watching this, hey, hit me up because I want to do some business with you. But Bad Boys, Texas. I'm gonna tell you right now, never in a million years would I have thought you would be on Bad Boys. Because I'm gonna be real honest, looking at you, I don't get Bad Boy. I honestly get, don't get me wrong, everyone gonna say you're attractive, but I get corny, goofy. That's what I get from you.
Yeah, corny is not always bad.
It's corny, not. I mean, not at all.
You know.
I mean, I guess let me ask you this: what is your definition of a bad boy? Because I think it's all different.
Yeah, I think everyone's definition differs, but my definition of a bad boy is kind of like the opposite of the girl next door.
Mm-hmm.
It's the person that you don't want your daughter with, the person that has the fast car, the person that maybe gets money in a way that's not a way that you as a father would want your daughter dating someone. You know what I'm saying? You want a blue collar guy, you know, who's maybe known to have a lot of hoes, whether that be male hoes or female hoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then someone who's, you know, known to maybe get into some shit. I think everyone thinks a bad boy is like a delinquent, a jailbird, a nigga serving time in prison. No, those are inmates. There's a difference between an inmate and a bad boy. So for me, there's no clear cut definition, but it's more so the things that surround you. A bad boy is a stereotype to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, like, oh yeah, he's a bad boy. He's been in trouble. He's always with a bunch of little hoes. He's always out late at night. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When you think about someone that's saying like, oh, that's a bad boy, that's usually what it means. Like, oh, man, he's a bad boy. You know, he's like shit like that. That's what I think a bad boy is like. That type of person. I think people see this show and they think bad boys is like niggas going in there fighting over rooms.
Okay, this is my issue with bad boys. Okay. And one thing about Zeus Network, you cannot take his accolades away from him. Lemmy has created an amazing platform, and there are good shows on that platform. You just have to look for them. But the thing is, only thing that's mostly promoted on Zeus is like Bad Boys, Jocelyn, is it Jocelyn Cabernet? Cabaret or something like that, and then Baddies, which I get it, because a lot of people try to down Lemmy, basically saying you're making our culture look bad. The way I look at it is, it's no different from Jerry Springer. Just really being honest, it's just more so of us on there. Now, if you look at it, Mona Scott Young, Tyler Perry, all of these huge producers, EPs, stuff like that, they create these shows and they go pitch them to other networks to get them to purchase them or maybe put on BT Plus or something type of app like that. The difference between with Lemmy, he owns his network. He get all of his money. So that's why I feel like this man has the advantage to do more for his own people. He has more he's more involved with it to basically hire and do as he pleases. So he can give anyone a platform. And I still feel that he still has the opportunity to do more with that platform. Now, when you went to this audition, first, what was you thinking? I don't want to say this because I feel like sometimes when people see people that used to be like on huge networks like VH1 and Bravo and they go to Zeus Network, a lot of people try to say, that's their last chance or something like that. Like, for example, when people used to say, like, if you end up on You Only Fix My Life, that's kind of it for you. But like I said, I still feel like going on the Zeus Network, you still have possibility if you find that balance. So, before you went to this interview, what was your thought process?
I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do the show. I wasn't going to go to the interview. And I was still like, first of all, that was my ego speaking. Because I was like, first of all, like, I'm fucking sorry. Damn. I was like, I'm Prince from Love and Hip Hop. I ain't going to an interview. They want me on the show. They hit me. You know, pride, ego speaking. But mind you, I haven't been on TV in 3 years. So, secondly, I was just like, it wasn't the fighting that scared me, because you can Google fights with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, fighting is not something I shy away from. I'm very confrontational. It was just the fact that I knew that 90 to 95% of the men that are on that show are LGBTQ. And I go on a show, I'm only going to perpetuate that false narrative of me being DL or gay or bi, because why am I going on a show in a house full of a bunch of gay guys fighting with a bunch of gay guys about what? What are we fighting about? You know what I'm saying? Unless you, so I was just like, nah. And so my girlfriend was like, yo, like I wanted to do it, but I was just like embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I did feel like how everybody else felt. Like, I'm going from this prestigious syndicated network, VH1, to, you know, Zeus, a streaming platform, an app, and, you know, all these things played into it. You know, my girlfriend was just telling me, she was just like, yo, you know, like, it's rough. It's gonna be a fat check. you'll have an opportunity to show people your real personality. Like you didn't get that chance with Love and Hip Hop. She was like, just look at it like you're going there and these are your coworkers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she gave me words of encouragement, and I was just kind of like, you know what? Yeah, like blanket, like it's a TV show, like what, so I was just like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna do it. Again, this is with no guarantee of me going on there, because this is me going to the audition. Like people think that I was planted and that I was gonna automatically get picked. No, I flew myself out there. I bought my own hotel room, and I went and stood in that line. And RR actually let me skip. RR recognized me, spoke to me, and let me skip. But when I was in that line, there was so many times I was like, I'm going home. There's no way, because it was the quality of people that I was surrounded with, and I was just like, there's no way they can put me on a show with these people. And then even just in the line, people, they recognized me, and some of them were fans, and some of them were like, I'm about to get clout off this nigga, like really trying to like start. And mind you, I'm very cool. I'm fun. I'm funny. So just, to get me there, I don't know. So then Zeus recognized me, pulled me out the line, and then like everything else was copacetic. Once they did that, I was like, oh yeah, I should be on the show. I for sure be on the show. And yeah, went through the process, but the auditions was nuts. The auditions were nuts.
How does Lemmy treat you? Like just the production team itself. Like, what is your experience right now?
Lemmy is very, very, very involved. I don't know many CEOs, and Lemmy is involved. I love it.
I think that's what I like about him, just due to his family background. He comes from a family that has like experience in production, owning stations.
They all work together.
So, they all work together.
All of Lemmy's LJ, his brother.
Oh wow.
LJ is his brother. He is the DP or something. He runs the entire shit. Lemmy is cool. Lemmy's an Aries, so I get along with Aries. So we were cool. We were good. This last Miami trip when he just came here, I finally kind of like broke through to the point where he texts me now. So it's like, okay, the CEO of our network. You know what I'm saying? But I was kind of like on the outside before. When you're on the outside, because there is cliques inside Zeus. If you're in. But when you're on the outside, you feel you're on the outside. You know what I'm saying? You definitely can feel the difference between the love. But I love working for them. Besides the fact that they're Black owned, it was dope. They paid well, on time.
Hold on, I'm glad you said that, because somebody just asked in the comments, they said, do you all get paid? And I was actually going to answer that question. I know for a fact that they do get paid. And I will say this, I'm glad you said that you all get paid on time. There have not been any discrepancies when it comes to those payments, because I talked to a few. Now, I'm going to say this, and I probably shouldn't say this. Well, there are a few networks I know for a fact they be waiting maybe a month.
VH1 being one of them. What you mean? What? VH1 was one of them.
Do you know how many? I got friends. I say I got friends that work in the industry. I know what networks they say, oh, I'm not going to that network because they always got a problem with paying people. You have to wait so long until you can get a check. And somebody, hold on, is it going to come up?
It went away? Let me see.
Lakeisha. And you know what's so bad about that? That's the one that everybody don't want to go do work for. And I hate to say
stark contrast between BET Productions and when I go to the VMAs and how smooth and seamless things are, and then when I go to BET Awards, outside like waiting for credentials, and it just be.
And the sad thing, everybody be so eager to be like, oh, I want to go do for such and such, do hair and makeup. 9 times out of 10, those people, they don't want to pay you. And they want to use their platforms to be like, I'm doing you a favor.
Well, Zeus pays, they're on time. When they tell you that wire gonna hit, that wire gonna hit. They are not stingy with the bread. There's no penny pinching. The budgets for these shows are, again, I think this is only also because the CEO is involved, like so involved, but like we do things that you don't do on a reality television show. Like we're going to the club and spending 20,000 on bottles and getting 20,000 singles, and this isn't prop money. You know what I'm saying? Like we're really randomly just put like it's completely different. I love it. Like, wow, this is dope. There is still a little bit of like nigga shit that transpires, but I mean, you know, it's better than it being like the stereotypical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to the pay, and that's one thing they are not like playing about. You are playing.
So let's talk about Bad Boys. All right, I literally just watched all the episodes up to now. Like yesterday, I finished.
Yeah.
You, Mo City, are really my favorite too. How did it feel when you met Orlando?
I was,
and shocked. I like Orlando too.
I was truly shocked because I thought I might have had to go on that show and slap the shit out of him. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, there was only 2 people going into this house that I was just like a little wary about. Darrell, I knew Darrell had a mouth, but he's a Bobby 2.0, so I knew how to deal with him. He wasn't going to be a problem. The only 2 people that were wild cards to me was one, Jonathan, mind you, because I already had the experience with him at audition when he like asked me to shoot, and I kind of thought it was a joke, but then he kind of seemed like he might have been a little bit serious, so he gave me kind of like prison bully vibes. But after meeting him, Jonathan is super cool. He is.
You're right about that. Now I do like Jonathan,
and then Orlando too, because I thought Orlando was crazy, just nuts. Would probably just say some wild, ish to me. He's not like that. As I said on the show, Orlando has clarity. Now, maybe if he somehow gets some drugs in his system, or if he drinks an entire bottle of Casamigos, then that stuff comes out because I've seen it. But sober Orlando, he is all here. He is manipulating the house. And let me tell you something. I read Orlando like a book. Oh my God. There's moments I'll be looking at Orlando, he'll do something like, say he'll cry on camera, and he'll lean back and look at me and be like, I'll be like,
they sitting up here talking about his cousin Prince, baby, your Malvahun. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm just letting go.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
You had to get used to these interviews.
It's been so long.
I'm gonna need Miss Carol to come back. I'm gonna need for you to come do an etiquette class on interviews on YouTube. I'm about to start sending the policy out. Yeah, I know. Next time I get somebody to come on, I got to send a contract. If you come do this,
I've been so flipping at the mouth the past 2 years that it's, I have to.
You're good, man.
Stimulate myself.
The only thing about Bad Boys is that I feel that there's no resolution sometimes. Like even when we get to the reunions, I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? Love Jonathan. Maybe I might get Jonathan on next to just talk to him. But I feel like when it comes to platforms, you have one, Jonathan has one, Mo City, is it Relly B? I feel like we're not actually getting to see more of you all. You utilize your platforms, at least go somewhere to give back versus always going to the clubs. And like, let me see you all go to some places where you like go to a shelter or something like that. It doesn't always have to be going to a strip club. Bad Boys can do good things. And it seems like everything is all about fighting, or if I hear one more person talk about a room, like who gonna sleep in this room? But I understand the concept. So what do you plan on taking away from this experience right here?
What I took away from the Bad Boys experience is that I am more patient than I think I am. It definitely taught me a little bit more patience just dealing with people. It gave me insight to who I am sometimes. There's a lot of conflicts that arose and that were able to be resolved, but because of where we were in the environment, you almost couldn't. And I realized, I saw how some people spoke to people. I saw how some people acted with like production and just like there. And it really just gave me like insights like to me and how I treated some of the people close to me. And it just like, damn, like I got to tighten up, That's what I took away from it. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. I think that For the most part, outside of seeing my angry side, everyone got to see every other side of me that they didn't get to see on Love and Hip Hop. You know, they get to see me being kind, they get to see me being funny, they get to see me silly, they get to see me being like active, like sport wise. They get to see me get active. And you know what I'm saying? That happens. You know, and I feel like people are going to still say what they want to say. People are going to talk about the octave level of my voice or whatever the case may be. But I think for the most part, people have a better grasp of my personality. Me as a person, maybe not so much because we didn't get to dive into who we are as individuals so much this season. Just maybe like the biggest things that are out there about us. But I was thoroughly happy with what I accomplished on the show. I know some people might say I come off as a supportive character, which I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The end of the season is mine. I own, and the last 3 or 4 episodes that's gonna be people are gonna remember. I'm gonna be the last person on a mind, and I'm gonna just say that.
So let me ask you this: would you do it again?
100,000%.
Okay.
No questions, especially if it's in my city.
So just to let you know now, whenever we finish this interview, make sure you text Lemmy and tell him to check out this interview. Lemmy, I'm gonna wait for your email.
Gotcha.
So I can come and watch behind the scenes because I want to cover this. So
I loved it.
So what we're about to do now, Prince, I normally let people come up and ask questions. One thing about my channel, we believe in being respectful, and I let them just get an understanding and a vibe for you. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna bring up Kaylin. She's backstage, and here she go right here. What up, Kay?
Hey, babes. Hello, Prince.
No video?
What you want to see, baby?
You, baby.
Well, you gonna have to go look at my past videos. I don't view myself in the best light right now, sister girl.
Okay,
she normally show her face.
Lashes folded up like lawn chairs, child. I had a rough night. No, I just want to say I am happy that you are in a better place, and I feel like you had to leave the other show so God can put you in position for something better, baby. Don't take it as something was taken from you. Take it as something was removed out of your way, especially if you got to wait on the check. And also, here's the thing. I have not watched Texas Bad Boys just yet. And I want to know, is it anything like the Baddies?
Yeah, yes and no. It's yes and no in the instance that it's the same premise. It's the same premise. It's a bunch of personalities in a house, and you basically just gonna see what happens. But the guys, we're not women, you know, we're not as catty, so it's not as like action packed. I still think the guys get active in the house, but there is way more kumbaya moments than
good.
Baddies.
Because the Baddies is so confusing. They just wake up fighting. You be like, well, wait a minute, what happened? There's no storyline. They just fighting.
I think also the difference between Baddies and Bad Boys is both seasons have had people who have been on TV already. And now this season they have seniority from being on the other show, and they brought in other, you know, people with like seniority and have been in the entertainment world. Whereas Baddies is really just comprised of a bunch of, you know, randoms or like social media influencers who's necessarily dealt with TV. So the way that the guys maneuver is different because, like, for example, Raz B knows how to work the camera. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that he'll do because he knows how editing is going to come out. Anything with Orlando, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know what to do. Like me, I knew how to deal with Darrell, so I wouldn't take things personal and get all emotional and sensitive and look crazy on TV because, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's really the biggest difference. And again, men and women.
Child, I just died when you said Orlando started crying, didn't give a thumbs up. Baby, please look out for Orlando. He done had a hard way to go. He's trying to make his way in life. Please. I just feel like
no, baby. I love Orlando. Orlando was the little big brother in the house that like everyone instantly just because you know what, Orlando was the most like, even though he had his acting moments, he was the most authentic. Like at any point was he watered down. I can say for that everyone kind of was feeling his personality out the first couple of days. Everyone, everyone was kind of like a little bit, you know. Orlando came into the house being Orlando, like just you know, like
Yeah,
who
I would love to be a
That's
fly
why
on the wall.
I wish we could see more of who the actual cast members are. Like sometimes we get bits and pieces of the story. Like for example, is it Ara when Jonathan went and bought him some clothes, which I didn't know if maybe it was a little shady. Maybe he was actually doing it to be sincere. I don't know, but obviously there is a story with that guy, and you can tell he got his guard up. But I mean, I don't know if it's for sometimes it's stuff for camera or like can they have genuine moments? And like right now, I just haven't seen those genuine moments.
there's two. I have my feelings when it comes to the Ara situation. That is getting out of hand. But the other, like,
Really got to think.
it's just, you know, it's just. We'll leave that alone. But the reason I guess you don't get to see more of those moments and delve into it is because the cast is too big.
Somebody just asked me, said, Anthony, are you going on Bad Boys? No.
I'm not. Oh, they're talking about you.
Yeah. The only time I would go on Bad Boys if Lemmy say, hey, I need you to come do something behind the scenes as far as hosting, something like that. But I'm not trying to be a cast member. I'm good.
Well, no, because listen, I made it the entire season, even though I get active, and y'all are gonna see why. It's for a special reason. I made it the entire season without a single fight. You know
I mean, it can be done.
It can be done. Like I did it. I'm the only person that didn't have to like. I did fight, but not like how these niggas fought. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see. But so you just have to like be you. You know, conflict resolution. Don't be messy. Like you see what I do. You just caught up, right? When they start gossiping, what I do? Exit stage. You know, they start talking. I'm rolling up.
It's like you and Mo City being y'all own world. Like it's cool.
Because there's no reason for us as straight males to get into
everything else. Pretty much, I get it.
If it don't apply, let it fly.
Let me go to Maritha. Maritha, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, Prince. I'm from Florida as well, and I watched you the first season on Love and Marriage Hip. I'm not Love and Marriage Hip Hop, but on you know, yeah, Miami. And you know, from the beginning when I first saw you, I felt like you were out of place, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. You know, even when you were friends with Over the Top Bobby, it just didn't seem like you were that type of, you know, just didn't seem like you were that type of person, and you didn't fit in with that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? And the vibe in Miami, South Beach, you know, Miami-Dade, you know, in that surrounding area, because I was born in Miami, so I kind of know how it is, you know, round up in P. Rhyme, Goose, Homestead, and those places and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, and I just want you to know I am so proud that you did, you know, you let it affect you the way it affect you, but you came out of it. You didn't wallow in it, you know, and you I believe you had a good family structure behind you. And you know, some people would do anything for fame, anything to just be on TV, because we've seen a lot of people, you know, behave that way. And I'm glad you're not afraid of your feelings, and you let your feelings, you know, you let your feelings be shown, and that you were hurt. And you know, and at some point you will get over that and it won't affect you anymore. So I'm proud of that. Now I've seen the advertising for the Bad Boy things, but I just figured, you know, it's just another fight show, you know, but with men or anything like that. So all I want to say to you, Prince, is just keep doing what you're doing, you know, keep that vibe what you have. And you know, I have seen how, you know, reality shows have affected people, because Suka, what is her name? Sukahana, whatever. Yeah, you know, this girl came out and said how, you know, and showed how it's affecting her. And you got out pretty much before it got you to the point to it has her now. So I say kudos to you, you know, for that.
Well, thank you. And to kind of piggyback off what you said as far as like out of place, I 100% felt out of place at Love and Hip Hop. I always felt like and I don't mean this like stereotype anybody, but I always felt like Love and Hip Hop was a bunch of Hennessy drinkers, and I was a cup of tea. And them niggas ain't want me. You know?
Prince!
Yes, I saw that.
I'm black. That's part about colloquialisms.
No, they fighting against the N word right now.
Child.
Yes.
Well,
I'm about to send you a list in your email of what you can and can't say. Because now I know I got to do a backup channel now.
oh
I
my
know
God.
I got to.
No,
But
listen.
go ahead, Prince.
I'm gonna send them an email. But yeah, I always felt like I was just not what I always felt like they saw me, because people blow up from reality shows because people can see themselves in them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, can't nobody sell. The only people that can see themselves in me is the ones that, want me. You know
Drunk
what I'm
feet.
On that note, Mildred, I'm gonna go to you. Go ahead, love. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Prince.
Hi, how you doing?
I can't wait to tell my girls that I saw you. Listen, my daughters love themselves some you.
Oh wow, tell them thank you. I appreciate it.
I will. But I would say your mama was on there with him. I seen him.
Just play. I'm gonna put you right beside him. Go ahead.
Cut it out, Mildred.
How you doing, Maritha?
Hey.
Hey, Mildred.
Hey.
I see you put your little red lip on to come up here and talk to Prince.
I
see your red lip, Mildred.
Right.
Yes, sister.
It wasn't for Prince. Now I'm a disclaimer. I don't play with children. You beautiful, Prince, but where your
I'm a
daddy?
grown man.
Oh, she say where your daddy?
Oh, my granddaddy.
You know, no, my daddy might be home soon.
No, I'm kidding.
So,
I've been married a long time. This lipstick is my leftover dinner date from my husband.
Oh,
my man. We was out.
Go ahead. What you want to ask, love? Go ahead.
If I can say to my daughter Kelly and my daughter Maya, they love you and they made me watch you. They're like, Mom, look at Prince. And I was like, let me see this boy. Let me see what he look like.
Oh, look, here he goes. Here goes my father right here as we speak. Dad, I'm doing it.
There's your daddy.
He
Let
tried
me
to
see what he look like.
I didn't try this.
His dad look young.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Prince Daddy.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Maritha. Miss Parker.
Hey, Daddy.
Okay, I ain't gonna do this. I'm letting you know right now. Maritha is the hot one, all right? She's the hot one.
So I'm doing a
we are Dad, we are admiring your good work. You did good work, sir. Did you make any more?
Oh, yeah, I have a couple more.
No, but they're all female.
Good job. Good job. You did good. You did
Thanks.
We were telling your son how much we enjoyed him. My daughters actually were always raving about him. That's how I start getting turned on to the show. And sometimes I would see him up there cutting up a little bit, but he's very likable. And I think he's got a big future. So don't let any of those things that happened to you in the past deter you, because you're going to do better. You're going to be fine.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Anthony, for letting me come up.
No problem. Thanks for coming up. I'm gonna need for the father to move this camera for Maritha to get hot in the meeting.
No. I wanted to ask him a question. Anthony, I done told you about doing me like that. No. I'm pretty sure he's married, and I don't do married men. You know, I kick it. But I wanted to ask Prince father, what did he think when you were? What was his thoughts when you were on Love and Hip Hop Miami?
My dad?
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, come on. Let me answer the question. Come on. She said, what were your thoughts when I was on the show? Like, what did you think? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was on a few of the episodes with him, so it was lit. It was fun. It was great.
Where are you from?
Jamaica.
You got that accent.
Jamaica. Hey, Didi.
Kingston.
Hold on. Maritha, did you just say you love Jamaican men on the last video?
But didn't I tell you that Jamaican men real whole?
Hey, Dad, I told you that Apple don't. You see what I'm saying? Hey.
All right. We got another person that came up. It's Katrina. She want to ask you something, Prince. How are you, Katrina?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
I think I'll pass.
All right.
Oh
Don't get shy, honey.
Anyway,
Talk
um,
about it.
Who's that lady?
I'm gonna say this. I really enjoyed this interview. I really did, and it was actually good to see your father.
I
Since
know,
we haven't seen
randomly
him on
we talked
TV,
in.
that's what's up. And Cheryl, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Prince, you want to leave us with some words on here? What tell us what you're working on? What can we expect in the future?
Okay, well, first and foremost, thank you guys for having me on here. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for the love that you guys sent my way. I receive it fully and I appreciate it. And as far as my future endeavors, I'm still just trying to figure out my passion and my purpose. I know I love filming, I love making people feel good, and I'm just trying to figure out a way to put it all together and take care of myself and my family. So I guess you can follow me on my journey. My page is up. I still do my music. I'm working on a couple different little things, and just stay tuned. But I'm just trying to keep growing, keep living, be a better person every single day, just 1% better, mentally, physically,
Cool.
emotionally. So I wish everybody the same, to be quite honest.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you for coming on. You're always welcome. You got my information, and I'm still gonna wait for the invite to come to Miami to hit up one of them parties.
Hey, well, Memorial Day weekend this weekend. Pull up. Pull up.
I got something going on Memorial Day weekend. Trust me, everybody waiting for that. Cause if I end up coming to that party and don't go live on Memorial Day weekend, my members are going to hurt me. Okay. So, but I definitely got you next time. Like I said, Lemmy, you watching? Hey, reach out. But thanks, man.
To me when it's ready, I'll post it. I can't wait to see it. You got to chop it up. You got to chop it up. You got to.
I got you. Well, all right, man. Thanks for coming through, and I will see you next time. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prince.
Good night, Prince. Tell Daddy I call.
I got you.
Tell him to drop that number in that DMs.
All right, y'all. So everyone that's asking me about this membership, you have to go to www.youtube.com/AnthonyLofties/join. I would say do it from a computer or an iPad. Sometimes it doesn't work when you do it from your cell phone. When they take you to the link, you'll basically see join right beside the word subscribe. Okay. So, I'm going to play this right quick, and then we will talk about a few things. And it's right here. All right, y'all. So let me tell you all what you all will be able to expect on Monday. I'm going to break down the Glam Squad to everyone, okay? I'm going to tell you all where it started. I'm going to tell you how it came to me first, okay? And once I tell you how it came to me, I'm going to explain to you all how I broke it down. Now, there are 3 audio recordings, okay? One of them, the last one, will be for like 18 minutes. And I think one is like 5 minutes and the other one's like maybe 5 or 6. I have to look at the timestamp again, okay? But you could tell that somebody reached out to maybe 1 or 2 of them. And it kind of felt like they were saying stuff to cover up the situation. But there was one person that it felt like they did not want me to speak with, because all of a sudden people don't know that if the person have a Instagram, they don't know if she have a Facebook, they don't know her name. It's supposed to be some crazy name, but it didn't make sense. But that last person was the one that put everything together. Now, there has allegedly been said there's a secret room there's a private room in black, saying that you have to put a code in to get in that room. You will hear more about that secret room because all three people talk about that room. So I'm gonna give you that. And Tiffany, how are you, Tiffany? Tiffany Whitlow.
Tiffany.
Tiffany, baby, don't say nothing back, Tiffany. Don't say nothing, Tiffany.
Don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing.
Chill.
Tiffany, how you doing?
Girl.
Tiffany, you did all of that stuff to Sheree. All of that stuff to Sheree, Tiffany. One thing about Love and Marriage Huntsville, no one is really speaking on their reality. Only person that's doing that is male. Tiffany, once a cheater, always a cheater, right?
Give him that Jalen look.
So everybody being saying, because I know Mel posted on her timeline saying that she's never heard a rumor about Tiffany. Oh, it's a rumor out there.
Save it for Monday.
It's a rumor out there.
It's in a boom room.
I'm just gonna say this. Tiffany karma is gonna hit her so fast. I mean, her karma hit her fast and bad.
Real bad.
Real bad. I mean, real bad. So, Tiffany.
Tiffany, just hers. Don't talk about nobody else, Tiffany. Just hers.
All I'm gonna say is, Tiffany, I know.
Ooh, child. If you
take it how you want to take it. Take it how you want to take it. I know.
Wait until tonight, girl.
Thank you, Logan.
Wait until tonight.
Oh, all I can say is y'all better pray for Tiffany. Pray for Tiffany.
Baby.
But that's all I'm gonna give y'all so far, and I will see you all on Monday.
I'm gonna get my ticket.
Well, not Monday. I'm gonna see you all Friday, hopefully for Bell Collector review. But if y'all don't see me Friday, you will definitely see me Saturday for Love and Marriage Huntsville season 6, episode 8. And yeah, y'all have a good night. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and making this a great interview. And Prince, thank you so much for coming on my platform. I greatly appreciate it. Prince, real cool. So, all right, y'all have a good night, and I will see you all next time, okay?
Good night, my love.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Can we go back to that place where we used to be? I wanna lay down, cuddle up and watch TV. I wanna feel like you're listening to me. Can we go back, go back? I remember when we would talk all night, laugh until we cried. I don't know what happened to us, like we're growing apart more and more. I just wanna know, tell me if I'm doing something wrong, baby. Cause I feel like I'm losing you, feel like I'm losing you. Can we go back to that place where we used to be? I wanna lay down.